honey.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, I'm very excited to talk to you because you make so much magic happen for so many people, so many artists, so many game changers and entrepreneurs.
Thank you.
Because you are that person.
Thank you. It's been an incredible journey.
Yeah, so let's start off. You tell me, like, prior to this,
What
you come
happened?
from quite a varied background. Yes.
Yeah, I do. I always hear that I have a very interesting career. So I started my career in tech and media. I worked for internet companies like City Search, Active Networks, NBC Internet at very early days. So I literally had to go door to door, knocking on doors, trying to sell websites when people had never heard of the internet. And I feel very grateful for that because, you know, in building this media company I have today, it was that experience of selling a concept, selling a vision of what's to come. I feel that really helped me. And so, you know, as you did back then, I jumped around. I went from City Search after a couple of years to NBC Internet and then was the sales director at Active Networks. And then I did a complete 180 and I followed my passion and I went into personal development. So during that period of time, I had gone to a Tony Robbins seminar and had never heard of, you know, dream it, do it, you can have anything. I kind of came more from the school of like Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will, don't get your hopes up, you'll be disappointed. So I sit in this seminar and I was like, wait, what? Like I can do anything if I work hard enough. And so my life went on a completely different trajectory and I was hooked and I basically, you know, went through his whole university and then ended up working for Tony Robbins. So I was involved with that organization for 10 years. I did everything from sales, ticket sales in the office to traveling with him. I was trained by him as a coach and mentor. I did production, I did training, speaking, I mean, everything, you name it, I had done it. And then after that I left, I went to another company called the Academy of Wealth and Achievement, and I was their director of production for 2.5 years and ran all of their events for North America. So they did hypnotherapy, NLP, and presentation and platform skills. So I did that for a few years and got a whole other skill set and then branched out on my own. I started to build my own brand. I've written 4 books. I have an online university and was doing my own speaking and coaching. And then really just contracting for other amazing minds. I worked for Alex Mendozian, a top marketer for 5 years. I worked for Harvey Mackay, who wrote Swim with the Sharks. So what I'm most grateful for is that I was surrounded by some of the best minds on the planet and really got access that other people don't have. And I truly believe that that's why I've been able to create what I have today.
You're like the easiest interview ever. Like my only cutaway is going to be me slack-jawed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, first of all, what an incredible journey and how inclusive of everything that you are right now. Like you really see it, you know?
It's interesting, you know, one of the most exciting things about working in that industry, and I'm sure you can relate because you've been an actress and you've had, you know, all of these different roles, and it's not a full-time gig. It's not an 8 to 6 thing. So I would tour, I would work, I would get this exposure, then I'd go back and do my own thing. And I've gone back to school. I have 10 certifications in human potential and life coaching and NLP, hypnotherapy. And so again, like all of that, I was so blessed in being able to work hard and follow my passions and get this exposure. And that kind of leads you to the path. You know, when you're doing your own thing, you have all the pieces that you need.
Right. And how nice to just keep building on you. You know, nothing is to be regretted that we do. Like everything builds on it. And what an awesome time we have right now that we can kind of create this magical life of, you know, it's really a golden age of entrepreneurship.
It really is. I mean, we are living in a time where things move incredibly fast. I have worked extremely hard to build what I've built, but also the timing, the kismet, the technology where it is today, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on, I'm sure, in the interview, but it's just fascinating, even the evolution that I've seen over the 4 years since we've had our media company, and it just, things do really move fast, and that's really what I love to inspire people, is that you can do whatever you want. You can have a dream. I moved to New York City 4.5 years ago, and that's even a funny story in itself. So I got to this period in my career where I had worked for all these giants, some of them literally giants.
Yeah.
And I was coming to a point where I knew that part of my career was going to end, because you're on the road 35 weeks out of the year, international. It's very wearing on you, as fun and amazing as it is. And so I just knew that I was approaching 40. I needed to make a different choice, and come hell or high water, I was not going to get a job. That's like, I'd rather go to prison than have to work in an office. So I woke up on my 40th birthday after having dinner with some girlfriends, and I just woke up in this panic thinking I'd seen every episode of Sex and the City. I know there's more to life, and if I don't get out of this small little town, I was living in Sausalito, now it's never gonna happen. So I packed up, I moved to New York City with literally, I call it the no man, no plan, no job program. And I just decided I was gonna follow my dream. I wanted to do television, I wanted to make something happen. So I arrived in the middle of a snowstorm with little Ginger, my dog, and a couple of bags of clothes. And 4.5 years later, I'm sitting here with you, about to launch launching our multi-channel media network.
Let's bring that in. So Bonbon Networks.
It's an incredible journey. So the funny part about it is, as you do in life so many times, I thought I had a totally different program. So I talked a little bit about my coaching background. I had November 14th of 2012, just graduated from Columbia University's executive coaching program. And that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna build my coaching practice. I was actually working on Wall Street in-house at a firm as their executive coach 2 days a week, and then I had my own practice. And so with my student loans in hand, I thought, okay, I'm really gonna make something of myself now. And then about 2 weeks later, I was at a networking event, building my coaching practice, and I ran into this talent agent. And we got to talking, and he said, oh my God, I follow all your stuff. I've read your books. I know who you are. I love what you do. And I was like, well, thank you, so much. And he's like, you should be on talk shows. I have a friend, and he hooked me up on this talk show. And I basically went on and I was telling my story. I came back and he said, you are so good. You should have your own show. So I was like, well, that's always been my dream. I wanted to be the next Oprah. That's been my lifelong passion. And so he sent me on a couple of shows every time I come back. And I was like, well, I really do want my own show. And he said, listen, I'm gonna tell you some advice that I've given over 300 people in my 15 years as a talent agent here in New York. He goes, not one has ever listened to me. And I said, listen, I'm your girl. Tell me what to do.
Oh my God.
And so he tells me, he said, you can go through production school at this one network here in New York City. You can create a pilot, and if they accept the pilot, then you can get your show to air. You have to pay for it, you have to produce it, you have to build your team, but it's a way if that's what you really want. The next day, I was enrolled in the class. I actually crashed it. It was really funny because it was full, and they only offered it every few months, so I just showed up. And there was this awkward moment of well, there's one too many people. And I just sat there quietly I don't know, I signed up online. And because that's how you have to do when you're an entrepreneur. You have to be scrappy. And so I basically, for an entire winter, was in school 3 nights a week and weekends. And when I graduated, I started filming the next day. And the goal was to create 12 shows, to use it as a tool to market my coaching practice. And what happened instead was the second I did television, I was bit by the bug. I completely lost sight of the vision. And I was coaching all day, I was filming all night, all weekend. I'd built this team, and what was supposed to be 12 shows the first year had then turned into about 90. And by the time we started airing on the Lifestyle Channel every Monday night, which we still air in New York City, we had filmed about, close to 100 shows, and it just was sort of this fast-moving train that I couldn't stop. So I had to find a way to monetize it, and thankfully I'd had some really great mentors along the way, and I had this business dinner. It was actually supposed to be a drink with my friend Jeff Hazlett, who's the CEO of C-Suite Media. He's the former CMO of Kodak. And we just started talking, and I thought I was there to help him with, give some advice about events and so forth, but it turned out it was the most pivotal moment in my career, and what was supposed to be a drink turned into a 3-hour dinner with napkins and charts and circles and everything, and he was basically coaching me through how he built his C-Suite Media Network. And I went home and I thought, that's exactly what I want to do for lifestyle inspiration entrepreneurship. So I just put my head down, I focused, I figured out a way to monetize everything that I was doing and build a team. And we basically started to get distribution. We went from 1 show in 1 city to then 4, to then 7, 14, 20, and now where we are today is we have multiple shows that are on 30 different media outlets. So it's really been an incredible journey. And again, this is all in the last 4 years, almost 5, that this has all happened and been possible. But it was really out of a necessity of, I needed to keep it going, because every time we filmed a show, there was the most inspirational story and the most incredible person and the most powerful gifts. And I just thought, I cannot not succeed. Like, this has to work, because there has to be a platform for these people that, I don't even want to call them everyday people, because they're extraordinary, but they're not a Tony Robbins. They don't have $1 million to throw a huge event or 1 million followers, but yet they have information that can help change other people's lives.
That's right. You have a team involved, right? You've had people help you along the way.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Oh my goodness. So in the very beginning, so as I said, I was in this production school, and there was, now 13 of us, it maxed at 12, but of course I wiggled my way in. And just because I was so passionate about my mission, I enrolled 3 of those 12 people to come and work for me for free, of course, in the beginning, because that's how you do. And Monica Grant was with us for the first 90 shows, and also Judy Stokes, who is an amazing producer. She works at HBO now. And then we kind of evolved from filming at the news studio, and we started filming on sets and in different locations in New York City. And I was so blessed, because we had Peter Rotundo from CBS. He's a 30-year veteran. He's worked for every top network. He produced many of our series. He produced Brand It, Make It, The Commando Coach, and Savor, the cooking show. And he's just ridiculously talented. He produces the morning show with Gayle King every morning over at CBS. Then when we grew too big to just manage with that team, we had Robin Adams, who also is a 30-year NBC veteran. He's produced a lot of the Commando Coach shows after Peter got too busy with the other ones. He produces a lot of our documentaries. He was the editor on our film Influencer and did a lot of those interviews. And Frank Fernandez, also from NBC for 30 years, incredible. He used to be in charge of greenlighting shows, so shows like Seinfeld and a few others that we've heard of, like he was instrumental in that. Jeff Hazlett has been an incredible, incredible mentor to me. And really just, I have to say a special thank you to Tony Robbins and to Harvey McKay, who mentored me indirectly. I mean, when you spend 10 years in an environment with Tony Robbins, who people pay $1 million a year to coach them, you learn a thing or two. And I'm so grateful for that. I could cry. And Harvey is literally a page out of his own book. He's written 8 New York Times business bestsellers. He's probably the biggest shark badass in business. And to work side by side with him for years and to see things happen, challenges happen. We were doing events all over the US and things happen, and he literally is a page out of his own book. And I learned so much about leadership and about just integrity and being true to your message and working your butt off. I mean, that man was 84 and he was up at 4:30 in the morning, showered, tie, workout. So I'm super grateful working for Alex Mendozian, one of the top internet marketers for 5 years, who I just, again, shoulder to shoulder, just by osmosis, you learn so much from these people. And our team, like Jordan from Star Baby Enterprises, who tirelessly would work, and she created the Bonbon Girls. We have a team of 72 girls that are ambassadors for Bonbon Girls. They're out in Times Square in t-shirts, handing out flyers. We have them in Dubai, we have them everywhere. And she was the brainchild behind that. Stephanie Ellen Alameda, who is in India right now. She's a huge pageant winner, a global pageant winner. She's been a host on our shows and really just so supportive. Erica Becker, like so many people along the way. It's been a team. It's been, I mean, we've had probably 20 interns that have worked on the shows and on the sets, and each and every person plays an important role.
It's so extremely inspiring, and when you go to work, you're not going to work. You're doing what you love, and that is so much the secret.
It is. I have to make deals with myself. The second I wake up in the morning, I'll grab my laptop and I'm doing something and I'm excited. I'm just like, okay, you get to work for 1 hour, and then you have to go work out, and then you have to shower, and then you can work. And I literally have to, like I'm a child, have to tell myself, because I do love what I do. And sometimes I wake up and my computer's on my lap because I worked till 1 in the morning and I fell asleep. But number one, that's what it takes. But number two, that's what it takes, because you have to love what you do that much in order to succeed.
Yeah, and it is correct though that you make sure that, we have personal hygiene, we have friends and family, and we have a whole full life, and keeping that in. But what a great problem to have.
It is. And along the way, we've had to decide. We have taken a really strong position in the industry. Instead of continuing to produce our own shows, which we've done, and we have over 700 that we've produced, and we have our first full feature film that just came out last April called Influencer. And really, I feel like we have so much more power in being able to have other people have their shows. I've had my time. I was in the limelight. I've been there, done that. But now, with our multi-channel network, we provide the ability for people to have a channel, to have their own show, and to have it syndicated on 30 different media outlets. So that's really what excites me now. As the new shows are coming on, we're, at our launch, we had 42 channels of amazing content, and each person, they're putting their heart and their soul into it. So the ripple effect of being able to be the engine that's broadcasting that out there is so, it gives me chill bumps.
She's got it.
That's what's really fun. And we have strong goals. By the end of this year, we want to have 500 channels, and by the end of next year, we want to have 5,000 channels of premium content on lifestyle, inspiration, entrepreneurship. We really want to be the go-to place where people that, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, that's your go-to. Like, you go to our site, Bonbon Networks, and you know that you're gonna get some inspiration from just some kick-ass content creators.
That was the greatest nugget of sales right there. Like, I had questions and you just kept answering them. And I was gonna have another question and you kept answering it. Yeah, that's it. The demographic, right? The type of programming. Will there be are there how-tos? Is it in the area of beauty as well?
It's really, what I had to do, and it's really funny because I feel like sometimes counterintuitively, it's counterintuitive. But when I started just doing what I loved, that's when things started going together. And so for me, what I love and what our network is all about, I love travel, I love makeup, I love fashion, I love girlfriends, I love wine, I love dogs, I love entrepreneurship, I love inspiration. And so really that's what our network's all about. Anything, if you're a do-it-yourself, if you're teaching people how to make, banana pie, great. If you have premium content, we're your vehicle. If you make jewelry, it's really about telling people's story. That's the fabric of our brand. So whatever that is, whatever your passion is, as long as it's lifestyle, inspiration, entrepreneurship, then we are your go-to. For the creators, we provide you a channel, we syndicate it on 30 networks, and for the viewers, we're matching you with this amazing content. And it's not YouTube type content. It's not, we're highly curated. We have an application process. We don't just take anybody. You have to apply to have a channel. Our producers will vet the content and make sure that it's applicable for our network. But what's happened is we really tend to attract those people. If you're someone that has a dream and you just know, the world needs to see my content, then you're the right person for us.
Sure. No, you're attracting your tribe. You are.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so it's and it's super easy to have a channel when you're brought on board with Bonbon Networks. Essentially, we have a production team that contacts you immediately, and within 5 to 7 days, your channel is built. And literally within 2 weeks, you can be in Romania and go on Apple TV and see your show. You could be in Russia and go on Roku and see your show. You can be, anywhere in the world. We give you an app that you can, like all the networking meetings and people give out business cards, just text them your app and they can see your TV show right away. It's crazy with the technology that is available today, what we're able to do, and that's really what we're offering with Bonbon Networks. We're offering literally the one-stop shop for those content creators to come in, put in your content, and let us do the rest. I spent 3 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars and going one by one and negotiating with these channels and these networks. And let me tell you, it's backbreaking. If you even have the access or know what to do, and then you need development time, and then you need a lot of money. And so what we've done is we've really solved all of that for a content creator. And it's for the serious people. It's for the people that they don't want to just be on YouTube. They want to really make a statement in the world, and they want to be a professional, content creator, and we allow the vehicle to do that. OTT industry is only multiplying. It's getting bigger literally by leaps and bounds. It's becoming more popular, more in everyday conversation. And just like with City Search, I feel very lucky that I got in very early. I saw a trend. My dad used to always say, he's like, babe, you were the first one with a Rubik's Cube, the first one with a Cabbage Patch Kid, and the first one to know about the internet. And so that's, his way of saying, I believe in you. You're going to make this happen. And it's really funny because, I took a gamble. When we started, everybody just wanted to know, well, what channel are you on? What network are you on? And we are on linear television, but that is the least impressive or important of everything that we do. It's all about these Apple TV, Roku, Samsung, Sony. We have deals with these companies where we're actually built into the smart TVs. So if you purchase anywhere in the world a new Sony television, a new Sharp, LG, RCA, Bonbon Networks is built into the App Store already. So
that's so great. That's so great.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like we just take what has taken hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of time and a huge team and development hours, and we literally, with a push of the button, with a click to join, we allow people to have access to all of that. So exciting times, big mission. We're looking for, we're not going to stop until we have the most incredible curated premium content creators.
Wow. So with that, you're big, like even the bigger vision, right? You said,
yeah.
Right, because Oprah's still like in your heart.
She is. She is, and this is my way. Look at even Oprah, after 25 years of being the #1 talk show, she decided she had a bigger vision. And what she did is she pulled back, she launched her own network, and she's now given Gail and a million other people their own shows. And that's really the model that we replicated. That's what I wanted to be able to do for the world, is be able to create this platform and to create this way that, if you're not on own network, if you're not the 1 in a million or billion people that, are known to everybody in the world, we want to make it so you can be. We want to make it so you have a vehicle that you can be. And when you come to our site, you'll see it is very similar to own network. Like, you have the different categories, you have the different channels, each person gets their beautiful banner, their branding, and it's all them. You click in, it's all, people always keep asking, like, okay, well, do you put your advertising on the video? Do you put your logo? I was like, no, this is all you, honey. Like, whatever your do-it-yourself is, your production tips, your makeup tips, like, we're just giving you the vehicle. Just like Oprah did to Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, or 4, I shouldn't say 2, I guess 2, Rachel Ray, like all those people, she launched their careers, and that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to find people that want to be a star or want to impact the world, and we're going to make that happen.
Amazing. I'm so honored to actually hear the whole story, because I've jumped into this part of your life and to really get the whole backstory. It all makes such sense. You really are a living, breathing example of just your whole life, and you're just a light.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're so excited to have you as part of our network too. It's really exciting. I mean, you have so much wisdom and tips to share. So, we're all in this together.
Yeah,
That's, I think, the point. We're attracting the right people at the right time and the right places, and everybody has a message to share. Everybody has that thing in their heart that drives them, that makes them have to set goals of, okay, you can work an hour and then you have to work.
That's right.
Or work
That's
out.
right. Really like organizing that out, but there really is sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's content just with your smartphone.
Yes.
I mean, we have all sorts of equipment here, but we also have a smartphone getting a shot of us too.
I know.
We're gonna do a live Facebook after this as well. It's like, there's no place in your life where you can't capture and document a piece of magic that through your eyes.
Yeah.
You could just be sitting in the park and you notice a piece of humanity.
Yeah.
And in your eyes and the way you tell it, and you can do that with your phone, right?
Yeah.
And there are apps to edit. There's little pieces of music. You can put little mini stories together, and that's how some of these major players do things.
Yeah.
Some of them, gone to film school, right? And they went very high end with everything, and now they've even pared it down to just the really simple things on their phone. So there's no rules except like be awesome and be true to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, we're talking to you. If you're awesome and you're a content creator and you know in your heart you have a message, like come join us, because that's what this is all about.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.